So hello everyone, welcome back, and in today's video I'm gonna teach you how to become pro at speedrunning Outlast with cheats. So let's just get started. The first thing you want to do is you want to start from here, and then you just want to run into the side without hitting this like pole thing here, because that slows you down. It's a bit difficult to do, but you can definitely do it like that right there. You basically just want to avoid like running into it like this and being stopped. If you can do that, then you're good. But it obviously it takes a bit of time to get used to doing. And as you can see, I'm not perfect at it, but I can do it relatively well. Now the next thing that you need to do is jump over here, and the thing is that you want to jump like relatively close to it, but the only thing that you really want to avoid is when the player lands. You want to avoid either hitting it like that, or this scenario. Oh wait, no. Or a scenario where you jump too early and you just barely get over. Why? It's a weird thing to produce, but where like you jump at like the perfect time basically, so you don't play like the hit ground animation. It's weird how consistent it is all of a sudden. What? Okay. Maybe if I just jump, it'll work. Okay, I'm generally confused why it's not working. But anyways, yeah, you basically just want to avoid like either hitting it or, as I'll show you now, like this animation that plays right here, which does happen sometimes when you jump over it a bit too early. But it's pretty difficult for me to reproduce because usually, even if you're quite early, like it does not produce that. But in some cases it does. And again, if you jump too late, you just jump into the fence, which you don't want to do. But generally speaking, like, unless you jump really late, you're not gonna hit the fence. So, your only real goal is just not to jump like really late. But not jump like super early, so you either don't make it or you accidentally jump and you place the hit ground animation. So yeah, it's a relatively consistent thing to do, so it's not that difficult. Now once you get to here, you want to get like not too far away from the doors, but not too close either. If you're too close to the doors, you will just end up jumping up again. You will just end up hitting them as you jump up, and you'll get stuck in this room right here. So you don't want to end up accidentally like hitting the door while you're jumping upwards here. But obviously, if you jump like just a little bit too early, you can end up accidentally like getting stuck in the door or something, if you jump too early. So you don't want to jump too early either. And there are also cases where like I don't know if I can produce it right now. I'll just reload really quickly. But there are also cases where like if you jump a bit too late, you might not hit the door, but you won't like fly high enough because you'll hit something else. So yeah, like right there, like yeah, if you're not careful where you're jumping, that if you jump too early, that could happen. So, but anyways, over here, like, if you jump a bit too late, but not late enough that you hit the door, then that could cause problems as well. As that means that you will likely not make it up all the way, I'm pretty sure. Like that right there, you know. So if you jump a bit too late, that could happen as well. You want to find like the perfect like jump place, like around there is good enough. So yeah, like once you get like around here-ish, you want to jump. You don't want to jump over here or right here, because then you will just, oh, that worked. But you might get stuck in the door if it decides, yeah. But you might get stuck in the door or something else, which would either slow you down or just mean that you'll have to restart. So you don't want to jump like really late, but you don't want to jump too early so you end up in the room and get stuck there. If you're interested why, this room, its ceiling has collision for some reason, so if you get into this room, you're basically trapped and you would need to reload. So you want to jump like around here-ish if you want to make it up there without any problems. So yeah, it's not too hard of a jump to do consistently, although even I sometimes fail at doing it. So yeah. Now this jump is probably one of the more harder jumps. So what you want to do is that you want to aim for the pile of books over there. And it's pretty inconsistent. But basically you want to land on like, I'm not sure exactly which area you want to land on, but you want to land on like the like highest point on the book. So like you want to land maybe like around here-ish, I think. And if you fail at that, then, you know, you'll notice how you'll play the the fall hit animation or hit ground animation. So you want to be like, you want to jump like relatively late, like almost to the point where like you're like interacting with it. But if you interact with it, the cutscene will play. And I actually think this would be easiest to like, if I was actually running and not just jumping back and forth. Like that right there. Oh, although this time I ended up here, so, oh, there we go. Now, if you see little pig appears, that means that the cutscene will begin. Now, Chris will be here. Never mind, I'll just exit and continue. Then he should disappear. But yeah, like you basically just come running around here and then you get really close, but not close enough that, you know, like the cutscene starts playing. Just far enough back that it does not play. It's a hard thing to get down consistently, but if you can do it, then like, yeah. Like that right there, you know, I line up probably about like this book right here. But it's not super consistent. Like, it's not particularly consistent. So, yeah. There, I didn't aim close enough. And I think if I'm running around the corner, it will be difficult to do it again. So I should probably be doing that. And obviously you don't want to aim so you fly over or you hit up here. You want to aim preferably so you hit the books. I would say if it was me, I would probably like go around the corner here and then like move over here, because then even if you go really closely, like you won't accidentally end up triggering the cutscene, and you have time to, you know, like aim towards the books right here. So you go like this. I think I have video show. Yeah, it is audio. I don't know why it's so laggy. But you notice how I like jumped at like right like here, like right before I would have collided with it. That's where you want to jump. If you want to like maximize, well, not maximize, but at least like where I normally jump to, you know, increase the chances to land on the correct spot in this book, on that pile of books. It's a pretty inconsistent strat, so most of my attempts was just trying to land on that damn book, on those books, so it's pretty difficult. And also just like aiming at like the spot where you're going to be jumping towards is kind of difficult, especially if you can't really see the books. So yeah. So god damn it. So it is a hard strat to get down. But so that's probably why like most of your failures will be but again, it is inconsistent. Like here, even though like I might have actually been right before the correct spot. It's not the most consistent strat. But yeah, just keep trying and eventually you'll get it, you know. I accidentally jumped outside. I'm just gonna go down this way. God damn it, let me go out. Yeah, it's hard to also you have to aim at the same time. So it's not it's not an easy strat to do, and it takes a lot of practice to get down, even just like once. So especially doing it consistently is quite hard to do. I would recommend you download the like mod menu, the ultra mod menu, so you can just load to try again. Should you fail at any point. But yeah, like it's very hard to get down, especially like to consistently do it without making any mistakes. I'm not sure if that's even possible. I think like most of my failures, even in my latest speedrun, went down that. There you go. You see how I did it that time. It's very hard to just do like somewhat consistently without failing. But as you can see, like now that I've practiced it for a bit, I'm starting to get it down a bit more now, knowing exactly where to jump. But it just takes some practice, you know, and knowing exactly where to aim as well. But if I really could go ahead and I reload, if you actually go ahead and watch the run, you'll notice how that's like probably why I fail a lot in the like speedrun attempts I did. But yeah, like you definitely can get this down like consistently if you practice for long enough. But it is a hard thing compared to the other strats to like get down consistently. as you need to run around the corner and aim at this exact spot and then jump at the exact time. Because if you're too late, you'll either go into the little pig cutscene or you'll hit the furniture, and if you're too early, you will end up hitting the like right around here, which is not where you want to be hitting. You want to be hitting like here-ish, I think. I'm not exactly sure where you're meant to hit. But I don't know, I can probably like do it really quickly again. Like now I'm failing because of the fact that so yeah, even for me it's not like super consistent. So it can take me a lot of tries just to get it correctly, but yeah, as you can see, like it's around like here, like around like this book basically. If you're a bit too far down, it won't work, and if you're a bit too far in front, it won't work. You have to land like in this, around this spot right here. It's a hard thing, and even then, I'm not sure if it works every time. Like, I'm not sure if it works every time. But anyways, from here, the moment you notice the saving icon appear, you just press reload. And again, if you did not have the Ultramod Mini, you would save and exit and then continue. And then you open this door, you basically just spam click while it's loading, and then you go over here, and you'll need to have a door unlocker. And then you basically just, like, do the, what's it called, a door glitch. I don't remember the name of the door glitch. But basically, if you like, while you're opening it, you then push the door back. So, you know, you open it and then like, you press W to push the door back in. And then, you know, you like, stop holding down the mouse button to, you know, interact with the door. You are able to go through it. So you just hold W and then you stop pressing the interact button, and then you can do this. It's a very easy thing to learn how to do. It works the other way too. There you just press the there you just press S instead, but it works that same way too. And then you go through it, and now here you basically just like, it's a bit harder to do, but you do another door glitch. Where you hold onto the door and then like this ledge, or this like door frame right there. Door frame. It's called door frame. And you basically just walk into the door frame. As you're opening the door. So you basically just stop holding down the interact button as you're walking into the door frame. And you can go into the door frame and into the wall. To just move into it. So as you stop pressing down the interact button, you just move into the door frame, and you should be able to like go into it. And it works the other way around too. Or yeah, like I'm pretty sure you can do it like the other way as well. It's just hard. Or can you? I'm not sure. It's been a while since I've done something like this. So I'm actually not sure how that would work. But anyways, if it does not work, but anyways, for us, we're basically just gonna go in. Oh wait, yeah, no. I think it only works this way actually, or at least it's easiest this way. So do this, and be careful that you don't accidentally end up going outside of the wall. which you can very easily do, especially when you know you're going quite fast. So make sure that you don't accidentally like press like D just a bit too much, so you end up outside the wall. And just continue forward. I would probably recommend you hold down A so you don't accidentally end up walking. Like if you just press down W, then you might end up outside the wall. Then you might end up being pushed outside the wall. And by the way, the reason why we do this right here is just it's fastest than having to open the door, which takes a while. It's just easier to just go like this and then go through and do this. I'm pretty sure it's a little bit faster. But anyways, once you're back here, you want to be careful and go around these corners. Now this is a tricky part. You want to go over here, but it's very easy while you're running to end up accidentally going down here. So you want to be a bit careful, maybe slow down a bit up there. And once you're here, we're just going to go back up and we do it. But once you're over there, again, be careful, especially right here, that you actually end up going down this way, because it's very easy for you to, when you're running, to accidentally end up running into like this like little thing right here and move like and fall down here if you're not careful. So be careful. And make sure that you end up over here where you were. Yeah, that has never happened to me during a speedrun, I'm pretty sure, but that can also happen, so make sure that you're careful right here. And basically you just want to jump down. Now there are some, I think I might be able to show you with free cam actually. I should probably make sure it's off. There are some like ledge thing, or some things here that you can land on that are part of the elevator shaft. And once you go past here, because there's no longer any net around it, you can actually land on these. And if you do, like, it would slow down you falling down. So it's preferable you don't accidentally land on them. But yeah, you basically just fall down all the way down here. As mentioned, like, I can't actually jump, but I can still show that, you can land on these. If the camera wanted to stop glitching out like this. There we go. Come on. I know it's possible because I'm pretty sure it's happened to me before. Yeah, like right here, you notice how I've actually landed on them. Something like this could happen. Or like you accidentally end up landing on one of them. And that's not great if you end up accidentally landing on one. You can't actually jump inside here, so... What the hell? Oh, it's because I'm crouched. But you can't actually jump, like, on one of these. But you can't actually jump inside here, so it makes it kind of difficult to showcase, like, what could happen. Oh no. It's just gonna load me here, that's fine. But it is something that I'm pretty sure has happened to me before, so it is something to like pay attention to just a little bit. It's kind of difficult because it doesn't like happen that frequently to show. But I do have some runs where it has happened that I've like landed on these or at least hit, like I've hit one of these and then fall, and then like I guess I got pushed off of it and fell down the rest of the way. But that means that but hitting it means that you lose all your momentum. So it's slower than just falling down completely without hitting it. And other times where where I have ended up landing on one of them and I had to go down. So just keep that in mind, I guess, as you're doing this. I want to try to see if I can actually show it happening. You wouldn't open the door right there, but it's not that matter. And yeah, then we basically just go down like this, like this, like this. And then we just go down like this. Yeah, you see how like I end up landing right there on like this like corner thing here. That's stuff that can happen, obviously, if you're careful. But also, like, I'm pretty sure that you can land further. I'm pretty sure I've landed further down as well. But as mentioned, it's not like something that usually happens, so it's not something I would be like super concerned about. And it's not like you lose a significant time from it. But it's hard to, you know, replicate when it doesn't happen that frequently. So, yeah. But anyways, let's go through here, and let's just try again. Maybe we'll be lucky this time. Yeah, you notice here how I landed on it. So you can land like on the thing. In this case, I landed like right off of it. But still, there are definitely like places you can land on as you fall down here, if you're not careful. So, you know, be careful. And again, if you land here, you'll have to move off to fall down completely. And another thing that can also happen is that you might like get like flinked off of it when you land on it. But that will still cause you to lose all of your momentum. But anyways, once you see saving, you just reload or save and exit and continue. And then here you basically just like, you just hold forward button as it's loading. You just run as it's loading, and then you go open up these two doors. And you just spam the open door button. And then you open these two doors. And you move over here. Here you want to jump up on this thing. This thing doesn't have collision. But if you go a bit further, it does actually have collision. It's just this one part here. It doesn't have any collision for some reason. So you can land on here. It would be preferable that you did not hit the door in the process. Either you won't end up actually landing on it, or else what can also happen is that you might end up just barely landing on it. I'm trying to showcase that like that right there. You just barely, like, you might land a bit further forward, but you just barely land on it. But it is preferable that you jump as far back as possible, just so you know you cover the most distance as your with your jump, instead of accidentally hitting it where, you know, you might either miss it completely or you might just land like around here. Which obviously means which obviously means you have to run further compared to being able to just land a bit further forward. Now over here, this part right here does not actually have any collision. So you need to actually jump right here. I gotta make sure to go back on here. The collision over here is kind of strange. But basically what you want to do is stand up and you want to aim for this small area over here. You want to basically aim for this blue pipe right here. but preferably you want to aim over like here, so you land like either like over here or maybe a bit further back. But it just gives you like the least chance of messing up versus if you jump anywhere else where you don't have as many different places you can land. Plus you need to go this direction anyways, so aiming this way makes the most sense. So you basically just stop, aim, and then you press forward and jump. And you'll land around here if you did it successfully. But yeah, it takes a bit of practice to get down. But once you do, it's quite easy to just stop up. Just quickly stop up for like half a second and just aim. And then land around here. And in here, I usually have my jump. I usually press F1. Now in this specific instance, I have my buttons set differently. So I'm not sure. Usually I will have to go in and check the input file because I don't remember if I bound it to the F1 button or not. I'm pretty sure I bound it to something else. So yeah, the button to change the jump distance that you jump is a tab. In my case, if you're going to change it, you can change it in the default input.ini file. But basically, yeah, like that's what you do. So you just press tab once, or whatever key you changed it to if you changed it, or if you made your own, and it should increase the amount of distance you jump. And then you basically just run forward and try to like jump as like, you don't want to jump too late, but you don't want to jump too early either. If you jump too late, you just fall off entirely, which you don't want to have happen. But if you jump too early, I'm pretty sure you might end up accidentally missing it now. This is still pretty high, so I have to adjust it again to be back to normal. There we go. So yeah, here you basically like probably want to jump like around like maybe this piece right here. I'm not actually entirely sure where you would want to jump, but wait, I forgot to press tab. Is the yeah, it's fucking fine now, man. And you basically just jump like around that. And if you jump too late, like in this case I landed right here. This is like the edge. If you go just a bit further, you'll end up falling down and potentially off the map. So yeah, that's like the furthest you can like jump without falling off the map. But it should probably also, no, I missed. Just jump up really quickly to show you. There's a wall here. Oh, wait, there's no wall here. Okay, there is no wall there. I thought there was a wall there, but apparently there isn't, so. Yeah, but you wanna obviously not like run so far that you fall off. You fall off instead of, you know, jumping. And then obviously, like, you don't want to jump like really early because then you might just not even get there. You could also, there's a small area here where you can fall through. It's preferable you don't land in that area. Because that means you have to open the door. That would simply be the fastest way, but there's another faster way through here that I'll show in a bit, which is very difficult to do when you're like going really fast. But anyways, I don't think you want to jump like really early either, because then you'll end up missing it as well. And you'll just fall forever. So there's like a specific point where you want to jump. And now that we're going even faster, there's an even more specific point that you want to actually jump. If you want to make it. Oh, I forgot to change it. So yeah. So it takes some practice to get down. And now that I'm going so fast, it's a lot more difficult now to actually do this jump perfectly every time. But there's a specific point that you want to actually hit. In this case, it seems like I jumped too early, since nothing has loaded in yet. So, yeah. I also spend a lot of time, this time around, actually like just making sure that I spend the least amount of time in the air while jumping. So, yeah. But I can go show you the video actually. A bit before that. In front of you. So, yeah, goddammit, I forgot to. So that's like how you would do it if you did it successfully. So, you know, you basically don't want to jump too early, don't want to jump too late, but there are also like positions, but there's like one spot if you jump a bit too late where you can still land without ending up falling through the room. Oh goddammit, I fell down. Oh my god, I don't know what jump I am. Okay, that's way too high. Okay, we're back to normal again. So there's like, you know, there's a small place right at the end of the room where I normally land. It doesn't really matter where specifically that is, that you can land to. I keep forgetting to change it. But yeah, you can land there as well. This time I'm gonna remember to change it. And now we wait. Looks like I landed right here. So that would be the spot. If you land a bit too early, you'll fall into the room. If you land a bit too late, you'll fall off. And then you basically just run down here. I'm not sure why it failed that time. Usually you can just run down with no issues. So it's a bit weird that like I fell down here. Like usually you can just run over here. Maybe I like got slightly stuck inside of the wall, and so that's why I fell down. But usually you can just run off of like this wall right here, onto like the top here. Anyways, from there you basically just want to run like and hit here, and then go down. Because if you go down that's not good. Okay, I did not. Because if you go down normally, you'll actually have the like hit ground animation play, which you don't want to have playing, so you have to run into it. But if you run into it, and you keep running like forward here, you can actually fall off. So you want to be careful, and there's other things that can happen too. But let me really quickly just get back over there. Yeah, you see. You can also like go sideways, and in this case I seem to have landed. Which is lucky, but that does not usually happen. You can also like go like into it, and instead of landing on top of it, you hit it, or you fly right past it. You know, you can end up like, oh, it's really laggy right now for some reason. You can end up like running into it and falling down. I think that was more common back when it's really annoying right now, and I really don't know why it's so laggy. But you can end up like flying over it or running into it as well. I don't think that as common anymore, because these days, because you're going so fast that like you're not gonna have time to run into them. But back when I was playing on a slower speed, a slower player speed, I think sometimes run into it instead. These days, I think you should probably be more concerned about running over it and not actually like landing on it properly. So you want to like you know, you can like flying right over it, I'm pretty sure. So what you want to do is that you want to run like into it, to like guarantee that you land on it. But it's really hard to do consistently without messing it up, and falling and having the animation play. Especially if you know you're already going pretty fast already. You know, then it makes it quite hard to do it. So I think I would probably just like, I don't know, you know, like I know it's possible because I've done it before. If you go watch the video, like, I mean, it could also be that I just walked down onto it. That could also be the case, that I just walked instead of running, which might actually increase the chances of you getting it. But essentially, like, you want to run like sideways into it. So you come running and then you run sideways into it, and then like you have to like hit some wall. It's hard to like actually do because there's a wall like right here that you'll often just end up running into instead. But it is possible. Like right there, like I seem to have hit like a wall that is like right here. Which is really annoying. And that one you can also hit, which means that you won't actually land on it. So you have to be like pretty accurate with this. But yeah, basically, like, you know, you just run sideways into it and hope for the best. I think if you learn how to like time it correctly, you can probably do it pretty consistently. But it's a hard thing to do because there's a lot of things that can go wrong. And I can't do it consistently at the moment. And they almost fell out. But yeah, basically, like, I guess you want to like try to hit this wall right here so you don't end up flying over it. And you want to avoid like hitting the side of this wall, I guess, because there's a wall right here. And you don't want to like accidentally like hit the wall while you're going down down, you know, this wall right here. You don't want to accidentally hit that wall as you're trying to land over here. You know, this wall right there, because that might produce, because that will likely mean that you'll miss. So you want to avoid all of them. Land on, hit that wall that's right there, and then go down. Very hard thing to do consistently. So hit this wall right here so you don't end up flying over it and down. Like what also happens, that you might end up like flying straight over it. So you need to like hit the wall or something. Or, so yeah, you want to hit like the wall that's right there. I mean, I suppose there's multiple different ways that, you know, you could get the same thing, but right there I just flew straight over it, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, like right there you saw how I just went straight over it. And, yeah. So you do want to hit, like, the wall that's, like, that it's, like, inside of. If you want to make it. This ice wall right here has collision that you want to hit. Sometimes you might also end up, again, there's multiple ways that you can do this, but you might end up hitting the wall like that. Give me a second. So as you're coming flying down, you might end up hitting the wall like this. That should be fine too, assuming that you immediately go down. I mean, it's faster to to obviously just bounce off of the wall and go straight down, but it's faster than like the hit animation. I'm pretty sure it's assuming like you immediately jump down. And I'm pretty sure it's also faster than, yeah, it's probably faster than opening the door as well. Anyways, from here, you press, I think, tab. Yeah, I think you press tab again, and then once you get like close to the staircase, you press jump, and hopefully you should land up here. It's a pretty hard thing to get consistent, so yeah, but like, you know, so once you get like, you want to aim like at like the door thing, at the doors up there, and once you get like relatively close to the platform you want to jump, and then you should be guaranteed to, oh, I actually missed. It's hard to get like exactly consistently. I'm not sure if like you want to aim at the doors, maybe just right next to the doors, so like maybe like look at like the like right side of the door frame, I guess you could call it, the this thing right here, this beam. Maybe look at it instead. So when you come running, you look at it and then you jump. And this time I got it. But I'm pretty sure you can look at the doors as well. You just have to, yeah, you can definitely look at the doors as well. You just have to time it correctly. And then obviously, you know, you want to get like, you don't want to jump too early, so you know you completely miss it like this. Well, like you can, oh wait, actually I made it that time. You know, but it's not like you don't want to jump like really early, so you know you just barely miss it, which can happen. But you don't want to jump too late, so you know you end up like hitting that. Although in this case I still made it actually, but I'm relatively certain that it's gonna be more inconsistent if you like hit the wall. Yeah, although actually hitting the wall is very difficult. But yeah, like if you jump too late, you might end up hitting like the wall or the railing. I don't, which the railing could, could take away some of the momentum, I guess, and some of your velocity, which means you might not make it every time. So you want to avoid hitting like the railing on the platform. So you basically want to jump like right before you hit it. To guarantee that you'll make it. So basically, like, as you know, you're getting like close to the yellow. I don't know what you would call it. Like, is this tape or something? I'm not sure, but we'll just call it tape. As you get close to the tape, you want to jump. If you want to actually get up there consistently. Now you can sometimes hit the wall here and kind of go off of it and land in a place and land without the hit ground animation playing. I've even had times when I've landed on this pipe right here. Sometimes I've landed like in the wall and I've been able to go off, but usually you're not going to be that lucky. So usually you're not going to land there. Usually you're going to have to hit ground animation play. Wow, I actually hit the pipe this time. So it did not actually count. That usually does not happen either. What's happening today? Like, is it the lamp? No, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's not the lamp. That's the reason. It's just weird, like how good I'm doing now. I swear I don't usually do so well. What? Yeah, like I'm just barely landing on it for some reason. I don't know what's happening. Usually whenever I'm speedrunning this and I go by here, I won't land anywhere. But today, for some reason, I guess today I'm just doing really well. I don't know what's happening, but a lot of the time what will happen is that, like, I'll jump and I'll fly, like, I'll land, like, around here. And I won't actually, like, either land so far that I'll hit the wall and glide off of it or whatever down to the ground, or hit the pipe or land on the pipe and not, like, have to hit ground animation play. That's not common, at least not. Like here, as an example in the speedrun, like I don't actually don't hit any of them. But I guess today I'm just I guess I must have, like, I haven't even practiced it really. I guess I'm just lucky. The time didn't go quite well. I don't know what to say. I'm just trying to, like, show what normally happens, but how it's happening. Okay, I give up then. But yeah, sometimes you might also land down and hit the ground. It's not like game over just because you hit the ground there. If you can consistently not hit the ground, or have the hit ground animation play, that's good, but it's not like game over just because you had that animation play here. I mean, the fact that you made it this far, you gotta at least, you know, try to like finish it now, you know. But this is a lot better than the old strat. But anyways, you want to hit tab now, and then you want to jump up and jump up here and just spam click, because the moment you land, you want to interact with this box, and then you want to aim for the platform over there, and then just jump. Just press forward and jump, and if you're unlucky like me right there, you will miss. But usually I don't miss here, so just aim for the platform, hit jump, and if you're lucky, the cutscene will play. I don't know why I'm being so unlucky right now. So we're gonna aim for the platform, and there you go. Now it played. It's not all kind of. I don't know why I don't have my crosshair enabled. I really don't know why. Everybody else managed to like aim for the platform and then just hit jump, and you should get into the cutscene. In most cases, but sometimes you will miss, and then it's game over. You just gotta restart from there. Now from here, it's actually relatively easy. So the first thing that you do once you get down is that, you know, you just basically run over, and in this case the doors are open, but normally when I do this the doors would be closed, and you basically just go ahead and open one of them, because this wall right here is, you can't jump through it. So you just go over, you open one of the doors, which will kill this enemy. But yeah, you basically just open one of the doors, and then you run through here. And here you want to land on the pipe. You want to jump from here, land on the pipe, on the metal pipe. And again, it's pretty easy to miss it, but you want to land on the pipe. So like land on the pipe, and then from here you basically just want to continue running and then pressing jump. And in here, like, and then you should land down here. If you miss it, or then you'll have to go through here, which is pretty slow. So I would just like probably just jump. Like, if you missed it and you don't hit it here for whatever reason, or you end up accidentally going off or something, so you end up like over here, I would just go down and just continue like this, and then just press it. If that's possible. So yeah, that's just something that you can do as well, instead of jumping. But obviously, like, doing that means that, like, oh, actually it would play anyway, so it doesn't actually matter. But obviously it's hard to like get that consistently to, you know, land over where the button is that you need to press. So I don't usually tend to, you know, do this unless I failed. But I don't actually think it's like faster than just hitting than just jumping on top of the pipe. But yeah, just because you missed the pipe here does not mean it's like game over. You can run down and just jump over there. But the main reason is that, like, if you were to fall off the pipe, you will have the hit fall animation play, or you might have it play. which obviously, depending on like, so you might have it play. And then that means that you'll have two, that means that you'll potentially have two like hit fall, because when you jump off there, you might like have the like fall hit ground animation play. It's not a guarantee, it depends on where you land, but generally you will. So that means that you have two of those animations play versus jumping on this pipe and not missing. Means that you only have one, because then here you go up. As you can see, like in this case, I actually ended up stuck behind the door. But yeah, you know, so you go over here, you land on here, and then, you know, you just basically like press jump again, like that. And then you just wait till you land down here and you run over and you press the button. It's not a hard thing to do, but it does require some skill to get down consistently. And now we're over, almost. There's one last trick that you can do to save a lot of time. And you will be walking insanely fast, or I mean limping insanely fast, so yeah. Just be aware of that. This cutscene takes a while. And a couple of notes is that like the moment you load in to return to admin block is when I believe I normally split. And the moment you hit the ground after falling down the admin, actually we can talk about that later. But from here you just walk over here, jump up here, and then you just run over here and get this part done. Make sure you don't accidentally like hit the door there, and you go through it smoothly, and then you can just go over and it would be end game after this is done. But I do just want to point out that like the moment I load in here is when I split, and the moment I fall down is when and hit the ground. So the moment that like I hit the ground is when I split. And now, according to speedrun rules, the moment that Mouse's hands touch the ground, if I remember correctly, during the final cutscene is when the speedrun ends. So it's the same like it is in normal speedruns here. And yeah, that's the entire speedrun guide, I guess. Pretty interesting, right? You know, it's interesting this guide took like an hour to make when the previous one I made was like 20 minutes long, I think. But yeah, that's the guide, you know. I hope you enjoy it. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye for now.